reasons why people like Peter Obi, I could never respect them, because they were all part of the shenanigans that took place. They worked with Abacha when Abacha was in power to ensure that they helped punish Abacha's image. You saw the glowing tribute someone like him paid to Babangida yesterday. He said it was even a
big blow for Peter Obi. By now, una go dey wonder wetin Sowore talk. Don't worry, I go break everything down. Sowore don expose wetin call hidden secret between Peter Obi and former military ruler Babangida. But now wetin be real truth for this matter? Una think say this matter go affect the way we see Peter Obi, especially for some of us that thinks that he is capable of ruling Nigeria tomorrow. Make una relax, because I go show una reaction video of Sowore interview wey he do for Nigerianewstoday FM. Sowore na person wey no dey hide mouth. He dey always expose politicians, especially our bad politicians. So my people, as Sowore don talk say Peter Obi and Babangida bin work together before, wetin una think? Do you guys think it is a problem? Make I know what you think for comment section below. Nigeria politics no be beans. Many politicians don't relate with the old military rulers or corrupt leaders before. Not be only Peter Obi waka come. So my question is this: as Peter Obi don't work with Babangida and other corrupt politicians, do you guys think that is going to affect the kind of leader Peter Obi be? You believe say working with Babangida fit make Peter Obi corrupt? In Nigeria politics, sometimes you need to work with different people. So because Obi don't work with Babangida, now both of them are the same or even corrupt. My brother Sowore, they know the measure person character by people where the person don't work with. Now the person character and wetin the person don't do, na him go tell you the kind of person that person be. Obi no be like politicians where they like chop money. Obi dey transparent for governance. During the time where Peter Obi the governor for Anambra State, Peter Obi reduce cost of governance, improve education, and even improve the economy of Anambra State. My brother, action they speak pass any allegations. Instead of Obi to steal money like other politicians, Obi don't show say you can still be in power and do the right thing. Even if Peter Obi work for Babangida, he is using that opportunity to show good example, to show people that, that he is competent. So for some of una wey no sabi Sowore na presidential candidate for last election. Some of us they see Sowore as an activist, a real activist for that matter, and some of us like the way the man they expose Nigerian politicians, most especially the bad leaders. But as him come they attack people be like this now because of the people wey him don't work with before. Does it even make sense? So Baba, all this kind talk we dey talk about Peter Obi no even matter at all. Now the way forward we dey look for like this. Instead of Sowore to the banter Peter Obi, why Sowore no go challenge himself and other politicians to be better, so that this place will be a better place for all of us instead of all this banter. Now unity we need for this country, not be fight. If we want fix Nigeria, we need to be judging leaders by wetin they don't do before, and not by judging them by who they have worked with before. So the most important thing is say, are they competent during the process? So make I show una video of Sowore interview for Nigerianewstoday FM. So make una judge am by una self.
What a reaction to the regret as expressed by Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida.
Too little, too late. I am convinced, and I have expressed even before the book was launched a few days ago, that it was going to be a pack of lies. My own conviction stems from the fact that Nigeria is so backwards that justice is so delayed that people's lives are ruined, the economy of this country was destroyed, the future of this country was suspended in 1993 by Babangida, and for him to come back 32 years later to slap the Nigerian people in the face, across the face, with a book launch and the launch for his presidential library, which raised over 17 billion in 3 hours, instead of rotting in jail, shows that Nigeria is not working. Nigeria has never worked, and we must make sure that this country works so that people who engage in impunity and criminal activities just don't get away with it in such a way that they're even rewarded years later. I feel so sad. But it's interesting that this has been our position for the 32 years that Abiola won the election. She ought to have been made president immediately. And this country made considerable progress, both traveling down the lane of democratic progress and also, I believe, economic progress. But that was suspended and disrupted by Babangida and his gangs, and they came back yesterday. That room that where he launched his book yesterday was the garden of all the criminals that made Nigeria unable to progress.
IBB says he didn't personally annul the result of the election or the election. He is pointing the accusing finger at the late General Sani Abacha, who was his then Minister of Defense. But he says he takes responsibility because it happened in his administration. Specifically, IBB says that Abacha went ahead to make the announcement, or to ask for the announcement to be made, annulling the election without his approval, IBB's approval. What's your take on that?
IBB has never told the truth in his life, and I'm not surprised that he has continued to engage in falsehood. The Yorubas have a common saying that when a criminal wants to lie, he will say that his witness has died, and that is what IBB did exactly with mentioning Abacha. IBB never wanted to hand over power. We were part of this. Nobody told me the story. We forced him out of power August of 1993. He postponed the transition program several times, and even Bola Tinubu, who was there, mentioned that even after they had their weak diarchy in which there were elections to elect senators, lawmakers, IBB severally postponed the launch of the legislative arm of government, which he had sanctioned elections for, because he never wanted to hand over power. He wanted to become a civilian president, and he just kept dribbling the Nigerian people for as long as it lasted until he dribbled himself. He dribbled himself out of power. That was why he was given the sobriquet Maradona, and he later also confirmed that he did so much evil to Nigerians that he accepted the label of being an evil genius.
He's also said yesterday at that book launch that the decision and the actions taken were in the interest of Nigeria to avert some unnamed impending doom that would have befallen the country if Abiola became president. Do you understand what he's saying? Can you relate with that? What are your thoughts on it?
No, I'm sorry to say it is all foolish talk, and this is what happens when people don't get put in their place by the system that ought to put everybody in place in a society like ours. If IBB had been taken care of, as arrested, prosecuted, and jailed for the monumental crime he committed against Nigerian people, he would be probably due for parole now from imprisonment, and he will be begging to be paroled into freedom after 33 years. But they don't teach history anymore in our schools in a way that people can understand what's happening. I was at a conference yesterday with a lot of young people, and when we asked when I asked so many of them individually if they were around when IBB was doing all this, it turns out the average age in that room was 25 years. They didn't know. They just heard about IBB, annulment of June 12, and some of the things I've heard from me, on Twitter, Facebook, and just other platforms, they were told. So there is no strong connection with the current generation with that very heinous crime. I must admit, and he knows that, and his collaborators and co-conspirators understand that Nigerians generally also have very short memory.
Some people have an issue, and I'm going to make it the final two questions so you can run off, but some people have an issue with IBB not coming out explicitly or directly to apologize, rather to say he regrets, and to admit that MK won that election. Do you think that a direct apology is necessary from this man?
No, an apology is unnecessary. It's punishment that is necessary. And, I dare say that, it doesn't matter when he's punished, but IBB ought to be punished, even if it's one day to the day of his death. He deserves to be punished.
Talking about punishment, finally, what should Nigerians do with this information? Yes.
I think you must understand, if you are walking around in the world, or you're a citizen of the globe, you would understand that it's never too late to punish people for the crimes, especially when crimes against humanity is involved. As I speak with you, there are people who are still being punished for the Second World War. There are people who participated in Nazi concentration camps, who tortured people. They're in their 90s and they're still undergoing trial. Some are still going to jail. When I arrived in the US, I think 1999 or thereabouts, the men who carried out the bombing of the Baptist church in Birmingham, I think, one of them was 84 years old. You can try and research it. And he was arrested. They just found out he was one of the people that carried out that crime in 1963. As 1999 or thereabout, they are still in jail as we speak, if they have not died. So there's no time limitation placed on when people can be punished for this type of crimes. So apology is not what is needed, because people ought to be deterred from doing this in the future. Anybody who wants to annul election or rig election would derive inspiration from a Babangida who did it, and then 33 years later is launching in presidential library and getting paid, and accolades poured on him. And some of the people who are even pouring accolades on him were people who claimed they were opposed to him at that time. And this is why I was saying that the pro-democracy movement brought together a bunch of very deceptive and hypocritical characters. They weren't actually fighting for Abiola at that time. They were just capitalizing on the popularity of the opposition of the public against the annulment. And you see them now. They have come out and they are competing to donate money to Babangida, and nobody's talking about what happens to Abiola, whose future was destroyed. His wife was killed, his family was scattered. If they admit that he won the election, then they should posthumously become the president of Nigeria. His family plays, but that's not my issue. My issue is how to get people who carry out these heinous crimes to be punished for it.
What form of punishment you think is is necessary for such an act?
I think it's to immediately round them up, arrest them, and start the trials that will allow for full disclosure of who was involved in that election annulment, who carried it out, whoever is alive amongst them. Don't forget that this is not just about June 12th. There was a journalist that was also pumped at that time, and before that time, Delegewa. Nobody's talking about him. We're talking about the phantom coup that led to the death of a lot of officers who never participated in any coup. People like Baksa, who denied till his death. Who was Babangida's best man during his wedding. You had a plane crash that took out middle-level officers and then some of the brightest officers at that time in the Nigerian army. We ought to know what happened to them. We ought to be finding out how $12-something billion disappeared from our coffers after the Gulf War went from oil sales. So there's a lot of crimes involved with the Babangida 8-year ruinous tenure that requires immediate criminal investigation and prosecution.
But how this happened when you have a retinue of present government functionaries, former government functionaries, captains of industry? And this is my final question to you. The president was there. Former Vice President Emir Shibajo reviewed the book. You had governors, lining up there. Captains of industry like Aliko Dangote. So is there a possibility that this gentleman, IBB, will be brought to book?
Well, not with this crop of leaders, but we can bring him to book someday. And that is one of the things that I'm interested in. As a person who is a witness to that historical moment. But we need to make the next set of historical decisions, and one of it is to get these men to pay for their crimes against Nigerian people. So you can understand now why Nigeria didn't make progress for some 40-something years, because had we allowed the election to go as it ought to be, We will not be talking about terrible elections today. We will not be talking about, these men. Some of these men who are in power today wouldn't have been in power because they would have been swept away by that era. But they understood it. That's why they are bonding together and helping him punish his image and making him look like a hero that he's not. Babangida is a villain, and he should be consigned to the dustbin of history. And it is my hope that will happen one day very soon.
All right. What do you say? Please, I promise you, last final question. It's a 2-1 question. Babangida seems to be the oracle that everyone who wants to be president in Nigeria goes to visit. Now the Nigerians are condemning, and number of Nigerians, in fact, I would say majority of Nigerians are condemning him for this statement. Should they also condemn the politicians who go to seek his blessings when they want to contest to be president? Have you gone? Have you gone to seek his blessing?
Never. I've never been to his house because I'm never going to go to his house. I'm never going to go to the home of anybody who I've identified individually as having participated in the ruination of Nigeria to seek their endorsement. I don't even greet them. Even though I don't take it personal, but I don't greet them. And this has always been my position.
I think you echoed Hamza Mustafa, one of those forums that you attended.
Yes, I echoed Mustafa. It's the reason that I keep telling people, and I'm going to keep saying it. It's one of the reasons why people like Peter Obi, I could never respect them because they were all part of the shenanigans that took place. They worked with Abacha when Abacha was in power to ensure that they helped punish Abacha's image. You saw the glowing tribute someone like him paid to Babangida yesterday. He said it was even at the book launch. These are the people who destroyed the country. But the people who fought for the democracy that we have now, you are the ones who get derided by a generation that not even know history. So all of them, everybody, Tinubu, Shibaju, these are all fake people, fake people. And if you didn't know before now, you saw it yesterday.
All right. I'm tempted to ask you another question, but I think...
Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, yes, indeed. Your approach is one that some people may love. But there's another school of thought that says, in order for the country to move forward, we need to allow bygones to be bygones for national healing. Don't go after those who have done wrong. Don't go after those who have killed, who've destroyed the country through their policies, economic, and through their dictatorship. Let them be, and let's look forward and build a country for peace to reign.
You can't build a country when the mechanics, the bricklayers, and the demolishers of the country are still in charge. And that is what you saw yesterday. You cannot build a country, you can't move forward in a country when the people who are cutting off your neck are still with the scalpel. They still hold the sword, and they still hold, the barrel of the gun that is destroying your country. They still hold the knife that cuts the rope that is taking you over the cliff. So you can't. There's nobody who should be lying to themselves. They've said this many times, bygone be bygone, but there's nowhere in the world where bygone is bygone when there's no hope for progress. That is why Nigerians should understand what people like me kept saying for 30 years.
The real question no be who Obi don work with before. The question be say if Peter Obi don use any political position wey him get, take show good example of leadership. The answer is yes. So my people, make we no let all this distraction make us forget the real matter. So my people, Nigeria need leaders wey sabi work, no be person wey no get history. So drop your thoughts for comment section. So Sowore comment make sense, or he is just distracting Nigerians from the real topic? So my people, make I leave una here. Don't forget to like this video so that YouTube will recommend it to other people. Subscribe to our channel if you are new to this channel. Share this video to your friends, family, and enemy. Also, turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss any of our updates each time we drop new updates. Stay tuned. See you on the next video.